Days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose, live online. Pledge of Allegiance.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, of thee I sing.
Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the Commonwealth, and the country. We will visit with Adam Warren from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers over on Rough River Lake, getting you ready for the 4th of July holiday. We will also have today's the movie premieres for the weekend, and we will have today's water cooler question. It will be your chance to prove you're the smartest person around the water cooler and win. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beej. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I was doing better
Yeah.
before. I was using the restroom and I heard this and a bunch of the clothes. The closet rod is not broken, but a bunch of the clothes fell in the closet.
Okay. All right. So it's
Good
it's not a
morning.
problem I have to fix.
No.
Okay, good. All right. So
Yeah.
if you had a checklist that you knew your checklist, would you get to go through and cross off each day? How many checks have you already had today so far, do you think? 2 dozen?
No.
No, not that many.
Well, no.
I want to tell you the first 10 minutes of your morning determines your entire day. 37% of Americans say they can predict whether they'll have a good day or a bad day within 10 minutes of waking up.
Absolutely.
Can you do that?
Absolutely.
I guess if you get, miss small steps, you forget to do things. It's like, oh, I'm out of sorts today.
Yeah. And I'm very much a morning person. And so I go to bed thinking about the first things that I want to do. And if I do those, then I'm pretty much in step
Then
the rest of the day.
in the first 10 minutes of your day today, did it tell you were having a good day?
Not, no.
Oh, no. Okay, that's
I
not what I
mean,
wanted to hear.
it did. No, I mean, there was not this big voice that says, "Oh, you're having a good day," but I am having a good day. But
Good.
most of my days are good.
He's the 5-time winner
Nice.
of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley, and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm okay. Do you have a very strict morning routine? You have you got to do things in a particular order, and if you don't do them, then your day is doomed?
I mean, kind of. I mean,
Yeah, maybe not doomed, but I bet it puts you off to the wrong, on the wrong.
yeah.
foot.
I mean, I take a shower every single morning. I'm one of those people that I'm not a night. I'll take even if I take a shower at night, I have to take one in the morning just because I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. I just you feel kind of gross. I don't know. It just is
To me,
and
it's
it also
refreshing.
wakes
It
me up.
gets your energy going is this is how you wake up.
Yeah,
Wake
because
up in the shower.
as you all know, I am not a morning person by any stretch, and I will never claim to
Right.
be. So that's kind of like my thing, and I'm not really a coffee drinker, so that's almost a way that I can get that morning burst.
I realized it didn't mess up my day, but I realized at bedtime last night that I didn't ever take medications that I take in the morning, first thing in the morning. I never did that yesterday, which is rare. I went, well, wait a minute.
Yeah,
How did that work?
It's rare for you to miss a step.
Yeah, I don't.
I can pretty much tell what time it is by what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we live on a clock.
Yes.
Our business is based upon a clock. I can tell you what time it is when the weather's playing. It's like, oh, I know what time it is when that's playing. So, nonetheless, hey, sunny and less humid midweek, but be prepared for another heat wave. Sunny with highs near 90 and lower humidity for today. Another heat wave arrives for the holiday weekend. Nearly daily rain chances return for next week. We'll see less humid today. It was pleasant yesterday afternoon. Sunny and a high of 90 today. Clear overnight, a low of 70. Mostly sunny and 92 for your Thursday. Then for your 4th of July, it'll be 94 on Friday afternoon. The weekend looks warm and muggy as well. And then, as I mentioned, rain chances sneak back in most every day next week, probably in the form of quick pop-up showers, and so that may dump a little precipitation on us. The big beautiful bill made it out of the Senate and now is headed back over to the House, where I've seen several House members who are not happy about the changes that have been made. And so we will see what happens in the House as far as modifications they make and whether it will have to go back over to the Senate after they do whatever they're going to make on it. But Vice President Vance actually cast the tie-breaking vote. It was at 50-50 in the Senate. It was likely to be doomed, but they got Lisa Murkowski from Alaska to come back over and vote for it after there were some concessions in there. For Alaska. So that's what's happening in the House today, and I still don't see it getting to the president's desk by late, but it's possible. Headlines close to home. Former Caneyville Fire and Police Chief has passed away. 60-year-old Anthony Clark of Caneyville passed on Saturday in Elizabethtown following a lengthy illness. He was a public servant nearly all of his adult life. He spent nearly 40 years with the Caneyville Fire Department. He was the chief for more than 30 years before he retired in 2021. He was the police chief in Caneyville for many, many years. He then worked briefly with the Clarkson Police Department. And if you're watching, you're seeing him sworn into the Clarkson PD at that time. So very well liked, very well known, and funeral services scheduled for Tuesday, and you can read about those at K105.com. We have been telling you the last couple of weeks about a new state law. If you are friends with educators or have people that work in the school system, there is a new state law that requires school communications with students to be traceable and monitored, and it's creating hardships for sports groups, civic groups, probably just most everyone. You know, we talked about the last one, we talked about the band, we talked about Cougar basketball, etc. Well, this new law basically says that any electronic communication between a school employee or volunteer and a student must be conducted through a designated application or program approved by the local district. Communications outside that system are considered unauthorized and will lead to disciplinary action by both the school district and the Education Professional Standards Board. Volunteers found in violation will be banned from further involvement with students, according to the law. There are some exceptions and limitations, but there are some notable things left out of the exceptions that might seem practical. Employees or volunteers who are also immediate family members, defined as a parent, sibling, child, aunt, uncle, or grandparent, may communicate electronically with students outside the designated system. Additionally, parents can sign a written consent form allowing a specific employee to contact their child through personal communication channels. This form must be submitted before any communication takes place and is not transferable to anyone else. You can't sign one form and it's good for all educators. It is for a single use. Now, the notable lack of exceptions, the law does not permit communication exceptions for step parents, cousins, family friends, or employees engaged with students in non-school roles. Like I was thinking, there was a time, you know, I had a Sunday school teacher who also happened to be a teacher at the school where I was. And so I was like, well, how are we treating those situations? And those are not exceptions, summer sports leagues, et cetera. So the KEA is making some recommendations to educators. And I'm not telling anything to educators that they don't already know. But what I think is helpful from a parent's standpoint is to know what the KEA has advised educators to do so that we'll better understand what the aim is here. And the KEA has said that educators should avoid installing school communication apps on personal devices. So does that mean the education system has to provide all of their employees a cell
Right.
phone? Or does it have to be done on their school computer? So how's that going to work? That doesn't sound overly convenient. They say refrain from sharing personal contact information with students, secure written parental consent in advance if non-standard communication is necessary, and decline or ignore any unsolicited messages from students outside approved channels unless proper consent is on file. So those are the guidelines that they have given to educators. Governor Beshear and AG Coleman announced yesterday that overall serious crime rates in 2024 dropped by nearly 8% compared to the prior year. The Crime in Kentucky report for last year shows that from 23 to 24 of the 23 categories, 17 experienced a decrease in crimes reported, indicating an overall decrease of 7.7% in reports of serious Category A crime. Some of the notable data indicates an 11.6% decrease in drug and narcotic offenses, a 12.7% decrease in homicide offenses, and a 13.8% decrease in sex offenses. Kentucky came the third straight year that overdose deaths have decreased. The Commonwealth saw just over 30% fewer overdose deaths than in 2023. That's thanks to multiple reasons, but part of it is the availability of naloxone, which is helping. Now, a few crime areas did see some increases. Arson was up 16%. Prostitution offenses were up 12.7%. Counterfeiting and forgery was up 1.3%. But then gambling rose from 6 offenses in 2023 to 90 offenses in 2024, which is a 1,400% increase. And you think, well, what's going on with that? All they have to do is bust one ring, right? One illegal gambling ring, and that could be the organized fighting of poultry animals. Like they could go in and bust a few of those and probably make 90 arrests. So that's why it would be a 1,400% increase. It does not have anything to do with legalized sports gambling or anything like that. This would be illegal gambling opportunities. State election officials found no issues with their post-election audits. AG Coleman announced that yesterday. They always pick some counties after the election and go in and make sure everything is on the up and up, and they found nothing. The Legislative Ethics Commission is recommending several changes to Kentucky's Code of Legislative Ethics and has submitted its findings to the LRC, which consists of the House and Senate leadership from both parties. First, they say, define and prohibit sexual harassment as ethical misconduct. The specific recommendation is create a comprehensive ethical prohibition against sexual harassment by legislators and legislative agents against legislative branch employees, legislators, or legislative agents. It would include specifically defining sexual harassment as actions that violate either Kentucky or federal statutes. Also, they're recommending to prohibit legislators and legislative agents from engaging in sexual harassment against an employee if the legislative branch, legislator, or legislative agent, and provide that a violation is ethical misconduct. You would be surprised how murky those definitions are in current ethical standards in Frankfurt. You would also be surprised to learn that Sam, you probably are unaware that until it's been less than 40 years after Operation Bop Trot that Kentucky even had an ethics commission for state government. Mm-hmm. And so because of that Bop Trot scandal, it was formed, and they've been constantly, trying to define good ethical standards, et cetera, since then. You may, if you're like me, you've all of a sudden started receiving multiple text messages this week about the Senate primary with the addition of Nate Morris to the field last week. And it probably has to do with your party affiliation on whether you're receiving those or not. I do find it interesting how the whoever it is, Federal Trade Commission, whether it's the FCC or whatever government agency is doing it, when they got Congress to pass the law that you can't send unsolicited text messages to people's cell phones, they carved out political messages. So it's like we all of a sudden get them, and I have stopped more messages this week than I probably ever have in a single week. But it shows you how either nervous the Andy Barr and campaigns are, or I'm not sure what to make of it. Whether Daniel Cameron and Andy Barr are nervous and their campaigns are saying we got to push back against Nate Morris immediately, or what. But they're all trying to distance themselves primarily from Mitch McConnell, but all three have ties to him. And then the other two are trying to say that Nate Morris isn't true MAGA. You're not MAGA enough. You're not real MAGA. You're fake MAGA. That's what they're telling him. So,
is this going to be like 2015, where you're going to have all these top three beating the crap out of one another, and then Matt Bevin's going to come out of obviously not Matt Bevin, but like somebody like that's going to pop out of nowhere and be like, oh, that guy wins.
It could be it's what I call the Hal Heiner and Jamie Comer principle.
Exactly.
What that is. Yeah, Matt Bevin threaded the needle perfectly in that. He was the last man standing. Yesterday ushered in a new era of college athletics because it was the first day of most fiscal years. Athletic programs around the country, including the University of Kentucky, and their student athletes now can partake in revenue sharing with a cap expected to be about $20 million, which is the number that is based upon a percentage of average revenue generated by the Power Four conferences within various categories, media rights, ticket sales, etc. That number could climb to $30 million over the next 10 years or so. But is this a sea change for college athletics, Sam? How will we see a difference on the field as fans? Will we see a difference?
On the field, I don't think you're going to see anything.
Okay.
Now, in your pocketbook, you will, because you're going to see a lot of different, just, like some of these schools. I mean, and I think UK announced yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, that they're now going to start. Employees are no longer going to get deals on tickets and so on. And, Tennessee, they instituted, I think, like a 10% volunteer fee, I think is what they call it, vol fee or something, which that 10% immediately goes into the pockets of the student athletes and so on. So there's all of these different things that you're going to start to see that, if you're buying tickets to the game. But if you are the fan that just flips on, the mothership and watches the game that way, and you'll listen on K105 to, the Mark Stoops show, you're not going to really see any difference, I don't think.
Okay. I do think for college athletes in particular, I think that some of the things that you've been receiving gratis as a college athlete to this date now suddenly may be not included in the deal. It may be for a fee. So your nutritionist may be no longer complimentary. Your highly sourced foods, maybe not complimentary anymore. Your health care, maybe not complimentary anymore. Your physical therapy, maybe not entirely complimentary anymore. So I think you're going to see the matrix on that change on who's paying for what, because the revenue stream that was going to pay for those things previously is now being diverted to the end user, which would be the student athlete, but they still need those services. Well, but maybe we're not just providing those, free to you any longer. We have to do it. So those are the inner workings of that is going to change. And then the NIL issue is completely separate. NIL doesn't even have anything to do with the revenue sharing out here, but it does add to a complex stew of trying to sort it out. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. We're going to talk with Adam Warren from over on Rough River Lake. They're gearing up for a big holiday weekend. We'll tell you the do's and don'ts, how to navigate the area, etc. That's all coming up. You're on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County, because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
She is the spitting image of Loretta Lynn. She sounds like her, she walks like her.
Even talks like her, everything.
Emily Portman is wonderful, and so are the coal miners. They're fantastic.
See Emily Portman, as always Loretta, as part of Hometown Hangout Summer Concert Series, Friday, July 11th.
Beach Bend Park in Splash Lagoon is the place for summer fun, making memories, good times, and summer vibes. Feel the rush of the legendary Kentucky Rumbler, one of America's top wooden coasters. Cool off in Splash Lagoon. Over 1 million gallons of water park fun. More than 40 rides, slides, attractions, and entertainment. Fun for the whole family. Beach Bend Park. Summer vibes so close to home. Get your tickets now at beachbend.com.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a Future Designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMeister for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
A Disney cruise is no ordinary vacation. It's an adventure, a fairy tale, a dream. Step aboard and discover where favorite Disney characters meet fun for the whole family. Where total rest and relaxation meet the ultimate escape and excitement. Where a dream vacation meets a magical cruise. Only on Disney Cruise Line, where magic meets the sea.
Call your global getaway to book your Disney cruise. 2702960106.
The White House says the Canadian Prime Minister called President Trump to tell him his country was dropping a tax targeting U.S. tech firms.
Prime Minister Carney in Canada caved to President Trump in the United States of America, and President Trump knows how to negotiate.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed the Prime Minister made the call to Trump Sunday night, and trade negotiations between the two countries are resuming. She said it was a mistake for Canada to try and implement the tax, and it was a big victory for tech companies now that the president got it dropped. OpenAI says Meta has been poaching its talent. The artificial intelligence company says it's now talking to those with offers from Meta to counter. At least 8 OpenAI researchers have left for Meta in the past week or so. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said on a podcast that Meta was offering $100 million signing bonuses, but Meta has reportedly pushed back against that allegation. And AI safety and research company Anthropic has launched its Economic Futures Program, a new initiative aimed at supporting research on the impact of artificial intelligence on the labor market. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is the halfway point of the year. Yesterday we said we were turning for home because it was the first. Mathematically, because of 28 days in February and not another month, today is the midpoint, so we're at 183, 182 counting down. Does that math?
It does. That's not how I do the halfway of the month or halfway of the year, but yes, the math does math.
It's I Forgot Day.
Every day.
And it's Freedom of the Fear of Public Speaking Day. It's also the day, apparently, that Adam Warren has a sore pitching arm. So we have called into the bullpen, and we've got J.D. Tucker on the line from over on Rough River Lake with the Corps of Engineers. Morning, J.D. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Doing very well. What's your primary specialty over on the lake with the Army Corps of Engineers? Are you like chief lifeguard, or what are you?
No, we all kind of work together over here. We're all a little bit of everything on any given day, essentially. So I guess we got a project manager, and then of course Adam Warren is the chief ranger, the lead ranger, and then there's 4 of us park rangers that work under those guys.
And a lot to do over there. We've talked with Adam, the last couple of visits about how challenging the spring has been for you guys trying to get some sense of normalcy returned. I saw a photograph of, I guess, the ramp at the state park earlier that seemed like maybe it's improving somewhat.
Possibly. I'm not really sure exactly what they got going on over there. Of course, we operate the 4 core ramps. I think the state park ramps, kind of like we are right now, they're flooded so much that there's just no room for parking, very little room for launching, so it kind of becomes traffic jams any given Saturday over there.
Yeah, hard to get turned around, et cetera. So what does that mean heading into the holiday weekend now? Obviously, the fireworks are going on, and we'll get the specifics of that. But as far as navigating the waterways, navigating the ramps, navigating the roadways, what would be helpful to know today?
Yeah, absolutely. So as most everybody knows that's already been using our ramps, the water's high. Parking is less than normal. Some roadways are a little bit harder to use, a little more traffic on them, as you said there. I would just be cautious of try to get there earlier than normal. Don't try to show up last minute and try to get in and find a parking spot. So just plan your day, plan your route, get there a little bit earlier, be willing to walk a little bit further because these parking spots right at the ramp are just not accessible at the moment. they'll be willing to park up in the overflow parking lots, park a little further away. Make arrangements if you have, people that are harder to get in and out of the boat, use bank areas because their courtesy docks aren't quite accessible at the moment either because the lake is so high. So just make arrangements and know that going in, that it's going to be a little harder to get in and out of the vessel and maybe walk a little bit farther to your parking spot there.
I read your update from yesterday, the totals. I haven't seen today's totals yet, but the gate is closed to like 0.5 as of yesterday. Is you got it turned down to that?
Yeah, so what we have right now is we're actually opened up a little bit more today. We opened up 1 more tenth on the main gate, which of course to the average person doesn't sound like very much, but we released about 4 inches of water out of the main lake level. That's something everybody can relate to. We dropped about 4 inches yesterday. So opening that other tenth, we're hoping to be able to drop maybe 5 to 6 inches over the next 24 hours. Current lake elevation is 506. So, if we keep dropping maybe 5 to 6 inches a day, we're going to keep getting down, maybe get to that summer pool elevation sometime in the future.
It would be a long time coming, and you still get to enjoy it for a while before you have to pull the plug later when we get to the fall.
Yeah.
This high level, high lake level, what does it do for the fireworks viewing experience, if anything, or what does it do to your launch experience? I think typically you probably use somewhere down around the beach area, which is probably not accessible. So has it been a challenge rearranging and getting organized for this year's fireworks, which I know the Friends group actually sponsor, but I know you all are involved in the execution of that.
Absolutely. That's actually something I'm working on today. I've got our workboat set out right now. As soon as we get down here, I'll be heading out on the water. Got 4 no boat buoys to put in. So we have those boat buoys on the right side of the beach closest to the marina, and then we have some more of those on the left side of the beach toward the dam. So we want what our goal is to keep the center of the lake there below the beach completely clear of vessels, just for their safety, essentially, in case there is a firework malfunction or of any kind. There wouldn't be any vessel there in harm's way. So when we put those buoys out, we would ask you to stay either toward the dam side or toward the marina side and just nothing in the middle there. As far as viewing capabilities, I guess the way I look at it is the fireworks shoot, I don't know, 400 to 500 feet in the air. That might be pushing it. I'm not a firework expertise, but if the lake is 20, 30 feet higher, you're 20, 30 feet closer to the fireworks, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that would make perfect sense. Sounds logical to me.
If anything, with the lake being higher, we have more room down there. So sometimes when we're down at 490 with the fireworks, it actually takes a little bit of the square footage away of the water. So with the lake being higher, the more the merrier, right? Get plenty of boats out there, get plenty of boats fit in, and plenty of room to move around.
I would also offer to those people who are planning to go, and I promise we'll tell you when they are momentarily. I know we've left that part out so far, but heading into a big weekend, I would offer that whether you're going by automobile or truck or whatever, or whether you're going by boat, as soon as it's over, don't be in a rush to just tear out of there and get to where you're going and make it a race up the lake or a race up the road. If you'll just give it a few minutes, you give it like 10, 15 minutes, sit there and enjoy, you'll have a much better experience exiting the venue. Isn't that right, JD?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And it also makes it much easier on all the emergency personnel around. So, of course, as you're leaving the state park, they have one-way exit, basically, filtering out, one by one. On the water, we do the same thing, kind of. We do a no wake, which is idle speed only until you get all the way out of the state park cove there. So until you pass the marina, get out of the no wake zone and around the point, it's all idle speed on a vessel. So if you do plan to come out on the vessel, just know that, be aware of that. Sit tight, hang tight for a minute, idle speed out of there, and everybody will be safe and get home in time.
So we're having the 4th of July is obviously on Friday, but when are we doing the fireworks this weekend?
The fireworks will be Saturday, July 5th. I think this is the first time we've ever did it after the 4th of July, but it just doesn't feel right to do it in June. So the July 5th date made more sense here this year.
Well, and Saturday, it's also the anchor of the weekend. By the time you get to Sunday afternoon, people start, spreading and going home and breaking camp, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of the marquee event for Saturday night, so you can enjoy the lake on Friday for the 4th and then hang around. It's just one big long holiday as far as I'm concerned, so people will enjoy it, I'm sure. I know that it in order to have that event, it requires you all, of course, being the core. It requires the Friends group and their involvement. But you just kind of alluded to it. We got a lot of first responders and other volunteers that are helping serve too, don't we?
Absolutely. So the state park has park rangers. They help direct traffic flow and keep things on the park ground safe. We have local law enforcement directing traffic out on the main highways up here, and of course patrolling the grounds as well, along with patrolling our campgrounds. There's always volunteer firefighter on staff there at the fireworks, just in case anything was to arise. And there's always Grayson County or Breck Central EMS van there ready to go if in case needed.
Before you go, let's talk the importance of, we don't want to miss an opportunity to talk about the importance of water safety and the importance of wearing a life jacket. And one of the things I didn't get to talk to Adam about last time we were talking about it is, even if you're an adult and a parent and you think you're too cool to wear one, if you'll wear one, that models to young people that it's cool and okay to do. And so your example can help them. Do you see some adults trying to do that, JD?
We actually do, and I think it's kind of a growing trend. It's something we're seeing more and more, and I think it goes right along with what you're saying there. A lot of parents are looking at, hey, I have my kids on the boat, I'm requiring them to wear their life jacket, and it just makes it easier and it makes that kid want to wear that life jacket even more if the parent and all the adults on board are wearing it as well. It is becoming a lot more common to see the adults out there, especially the fishermen. They tend to, the majority of the fishermen we see out there have their life jackets on the entire time that they're out there. We do love seeing that. It's great.
Yeah, whether in good ways and bad ways, kids are following your example, so you might as well make it a good one, especially when you're underway, because you never quite know. You might be a good swimmer, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be okay in every setting. If you have a collision of some sort, or you get thrown from the boat, or you get bumped on the head or something, that life jacket can make all the difference. JD, thanks for the time. Thanks for helping us stay safe, and thanks for all the work you all do over on Rough River Lake.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Have a happy 4th of July. That's JD Tucker from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We've got to get to a break. We'll come back. We've got today's water cooler question. The long holiday weekend movie premieres are out. We'll tell you about that. And we'll have plenty more to go before the show is over. Hang around here on In the Know.
She is the spitting image of Loretta Lynch. She sounds like her, she walks like her.
Even talks like her, everything.
Emily Portman is wonderful, and so are the coal miners. They're fantastic.
See Emily Portman, as always Loretta, as part of Hometown Hangout Summer Concert Series, Friday, July 11th.
Did you know there's money available to help you pay for trade school or college? Yep, and all you need to do is fill out the free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA. Completing the FAFSA costs you nothing but time, and it can pay off big. And there are experts across Kentucky who can help. For more info, visit gearupky.org/money. That's gearupky.org/money.
Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 30 to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works. Call 1-800-206-6755, 1-800-206-6755, 1-800-206-6755. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services, Inc., 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 1492, Oregon DM 80092. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action, not a loan company.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather.
Will be sunny and warm today with highs near 90 degrees, but keep in mind that humidity a lot lower for this time of the year. Once we head into tonight, we keep the clear skies. We drop down into the 60s and low 70s. Tomorrow, we rebound into the upper 80s and low 90s, keeping that humidity relatively low. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrews. All summer.
This is the 105 Days of Summer. It's going to be the hottest summer yet. Brought to you by Midway Pharmacy. On the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.
Far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties. Above the fruited plain. Well, now wait a minute. I'm talking about America.
Did you know your senses of smell and taste decrease by 20 to 50% during flights?
All right.
So you ever smell something bad on a flight, you might think, ooh, that could be twice as bad.
See, I'm trying to think, though, as far as eating-wise, I don't ever eat anything other than maybe like a pack of peanuts or...
You don't fly far enough.
No, I mean, I haven't flown... I mean, I flew to Charlotte back in the fall, but that was an hour-and-a-half flight, if that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's so 20 to 50%. So you don't smell very well. No, I mean, you're a poor smeller, and you're a poor taster when you're at altitude. So
I guess that's a
what to
good thing
remember.
when that essential oil busted in my bag that time. Yeah, that was quite.
Oh, there was one time
fragrant.
we had got our flight canceled from Las Vegas coming home, and you were learning that news, and all of a sudden I'm waiting in line at the podium to rebook, and I smell the essential oil stuff going on the wrist, like the calming oil.
It's the calming one.
Like,
I'm going.
It's working.
What
It was working.
scent is that?
It's the brand is doTERRA, and it actually the thing on the side says Serenity. So I don't know what all's in.
Serenity now.
Yes, right. I don't know what all is in there, but
Here's today's water cooler question. If you or your household have not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win. You're going to text your answer to 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. Holiday World tickets today. Holiday World tickets up for grabs. 2 of those if you can be the winner. An average person will keep one of these for 7 years. An average person will keep one of these for 7 years. 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. There you go. Weekend movie premieres. Jurassic World Rebirth is out. Pretty Thing is out. That's Alicia Silverstone. And 40 Acres is out. It's an R-rated action mystery movie and limited release. So my guess is Jurassic World wins the long holiday weekend. That would be my supposition.
Or F1? Will F1 hold on?
F1 could. I think there is a pent-up demand for Jurassic Park. And again, reminder, I've never seen Jurassic Park, the movie. I don't like dinosaurs. And so,
like dinosaurs.
That may be going to change for you.
yeah, but I don't like them now, so I don't have to yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say until Brady comes to you and says, "Will you watch Jurassic Park with me?" and then you can't tell him no.
Sure, but that doesn't make me like them. It makes me.
I bet you will. I bet you he could make you.
My favorite
Am I wrong,
dinosaur
Christy?
is Dino.
No, he's just digging his heels.
My favorite dinosaur is Dino. Is it Dino?
From
Flintstones?
Flintstones?
From the Flintstones. That's my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
That's about right.
But I mean,
That's
you
the
never
one I
watched like Land Before Time or anything like that?
No, I never watched that. And here's why. Wow. If you went to the old universe of energy at Epcot, which is where Guardians of the Galaxy is now, if you ever went there before in the old days, they took you. It was the only thing good about that attraction was that it was dark and cool, and you could take a nap because you got on these trams. And it was kind of like the Great Movie Ride. They had these trams that moved around in the theater, and then they took you through this dark area, this prehistoric dinosaurs. It was so lame and boring. They were just standing there like chewing weeds and things. I'm thinking, this is the worst.
I mean, what's the difference between that and going to the zoo?
I don't like it.
I mean, at the zoo, they just are chewing weeds, too.
There are no dinosaurs that do what monkeys do. Show me a monkey doing dinosaur, and then maybe I'll like it.
Doing dinosaur. Well,
Is that good English?
No, it's not good English, but it's what I used.
well he's just
Yeah, I'm
digging
saying
his
this.
heels in.
I'm waiting in about 5 years. We're going to
It's
see
like a
you with
take
like a dinosaur T-shirt, and you and Brady are going to be watching dinosaur stuff all over.
Okay, there's two dinosaurs I like. I just remembered. There's two.
Uh-huh.
We had
what's the other?
I forget the name now. We had an incident with Beyonce earlier this week that she normally fell from her convertible, and now it appears that Katy Perry had nearly had a fall as her prop malfunctions during the middle of a concert, and that's on. So, what's happening? You roadies are going to have to do a better job securing these cables and keeping our stars safe. Get it together, people. New on Netflix this month is Captain Phillips. That's a good
a really good movie.
And just like how Spielberg did the opening scene or the D-Day scene in Saving Private Ryan, when Tom Hanks saw the pirates for the first time when they stormed the bridge, that was all in real time, first time. The actors hadn't even met. So it gave an additional tension, to what was happening. All the Mission Impossibles, except for probably the most recent one, are coming out. They came out yesterday. If you are dreaming of Christmas, The Polar Express is now on Netflix for this month. A Star is Born on July 8th. I presume it's the most recent one, not the previous two.
It is the most recent one. Yeah, I saw that. That popped up on my Netflix. I think I was on it yesterday.
Shallow got on my nerves finally, the song, because
we played it a lot.
Yeah, we and everyone played it a lot. It wasn't just us. It was everywhere. And then it was gone for about a year, and I was like, oh, good. I can enjoy that song again. But there are a couple of cuts on that soundtrack that Gaga did that are superb.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. So it's worth watching the movie just to get to hear those songs. All the Jaws movies come on July 15th. Yay. Mamma Mia on the 16th. By the way, I read today where Dancing Queen by ABBA, speaking of ABBA, Mamma Mia, reached 1 billion views on YouTube. For a song that old, to get to 1 billion views is quite remarkable. The Trainwreck series on Netflix, I don't know if you've seen any of those, but it's pretty good. The mayor of Toronto, who was such a train wreck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Rob Ford or
was
something.
his last name. Yeah. That's coming out, but then Trainwreck PI Moms comes out July 22nd. Trainwreck Storm comes out July 29th. Have you all seen Poop Cruise, the Trainwreck Poop Cruise?
No, I've wanted to watch it, but every time it pops up, I'm with Alea, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I've watched it.
What day is Happy Gilmore 2? Isn't that this month? Did you say that?
No, I didn't say it, but yeah, it seems like it is this month, but it didn't jump off the page.
Well, because it had to have been that, because that's the picture that they supplied for me, so I'm assuming that's
well, also
the 25th of
Sandman
July.
Season 2. The Sandman season 2 comes out at the end of the month too, which is Adam Sandler.
July 25th.
I wasn't quite sure whether to put this in the news or in the entertainment news. Jimmy Swaggart, the televangelist, has died at age 90.
Oh, wow.
He was, back in the day, there's no telling how much money he raised and wasted. Sam was delighted to hear that Travis Kelce says that hosting SNL was hard for him because he can't really read all that well.
That doesn't surprise me.
I assume that came as no shock whatsoever to you, Samuel.
Yeah, jabroni.
He said, what did he call himself? He said he was more of a verbal person.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't even know what jabroni means. That's sad. Got to get to a break. We'll come back and figure out who wins the water cooler question. Got a point to ponder, chart toppers, pearl of wisdom, and more coming up here on In the Know.
Man, is it tough to be a sports fan. Some years bring glory. Other years bring challenges, heartache, and the agony of defeat. My Denver Broncos are that way too. They've won a few Super Bowls, but man, this year they are struggling. I remember a few seasons ago when they started off with a perfect 6-0 record. Nobody could beat them. They were on a pace for one of their best seasons ever. Then everything fell apart. They lost 8 of their final 10 games, and they failed to make the playoffs. Wow. If you're a sports fan, you know the emotional roller coaster I'm talking about. Every season begins with high hopes that your team will finish with a winning record, maybe even cap off the year with a championship. But you never really know how things will turn out until your team is in the thick of it. There are highs and there's lows. That's how it is with life too. Each year starts with high hopes for a promotion, for a good report from the doctor, for a child to get back on track. But you never really know how things will turn out until you're in the thick of it. There will be highs and there will be lows. The best teams are the ones who celebrate victories and fight through challenges the very same way, together. That's true in sports and it's true in marriage. None of us knows what a year will bring. And that's why, win or lose, good or bad, you and your spouse can get through it all if you do it together. For more to help you thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Smith Overhead Door is redefining entryways in Litchfield, where every click of the remote promises reliability. It's not just about opening doors, it's about lasting assurance. We offer a service that inspects each part, making sure your door system thrives. With our service agreement, with inspections up to 4 times a year, we spot the signs of wear before they whisper a problem, saving you more than just peace of mind. Opt for a 2-year plan and the savings rise. Make sure you get out the door with Smith Overhead Door at sohd.info. We're not just opening doors, we're opening possibilities.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Ugh, my storage is full. I have to delete some photos. Don't need these. Our holiday world trip?
You can't delete those.
The one of Mom's hair after riding Thunderbird?
My hair? Remember Zach's blue ice cream face?
No, I'm keeping these forever.
At Holiday World and Splash and Safari, We can't free up your phone storage, but we do have free soft drinks, parking, and sunscreen. Time to make room for the good stuff. Visit holidayworld.com.
MB's point to ponder for today. What would you think is the current world record for consecutive laps around the roundabout? You know someone in this town.
Oh, yeah.
Has decided to get in there and just stay in.
Now, is that because
once you get,
is
once
that
you get
because
in
they
there,
don't know
you've
how to
got
get
the
out?
right of way. That's right. Once you get in there, you don't have to come out.
Yeah.
Because you have the right of way. So you basically can just stay in there. It would be a lot like Chevy Chase in European Vacation.
Sounds like something to do today.
In Rome. Well, I was just wondering. I wonder what I could set the number at. If someone hasn't done it already, I wonder how many I could do before I got bored.
Well, I do know that when this happened, I was talking to somebody that I know, and they were not on board with it. And I talked to them yesterday, and they said, "Well, I actually kind of like it." I was like, "I told you." I said it is so much more efficient. So much more efficient.
It does have a warming quality to it when you go. I mean, I don't have to stop at the light anymore.
Listen,
Nope,
I've
you
said
don't
it
have to stop at the
before.
light.
I put them everywhere. More roundabouts.
Well, your wish is getting ready to come true.
I can't wait.
The water cooler question for today was: an average person keeps one of these for 7 years.
I'd already forgotten the question. A cavity.
A cavity.
Oh,
gosh.
that sounds painful.
Yeah.
Well,
See, I thought about this one a lot. I put a television.
I know why you guessed that. You said television?
Uh-huh.
I didn't look to see what all the various answers were. The correct answer is a mattress. A mattress
Well, I guess
is the
mine's about
correct
7.
answer. The average person keeps one of these for 7 years. Ours is going longer than 7 years. I can
Mine's
tell you that for sure.
right about 7. So
Okay. Well, you've been eyeing a new one. No, I'm sorry. You got to wait till President's Day. You can only buy a mattress on President's Day. I don't know if people know that or not. but
I mean,
that's the
mine's-
only time of year they're on
mine,
sale.
mine seems to be fine right now. I don't know.
Okay, you're gonna hold on to it.
Looks like
Did we have
5.
5. I'll go with number 4 for the 4th of July.
Oh, 3089.
3089. Congratulations, 3089. You're going to Holiday World. Today's highlight in history: this date in 1964, President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act into law. In 1776, the Continental Congress passed the resolution saying that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. Kind of a big deal. The birthdays for today. 2018, they found those kids in the cave in Thailand, those 12 boys and their soccer coach. They found them.
There's a good movie about that.
It is a good movie. Birthdays today: Imelda Marcos is 96, Polly Holiday is 88, the King Richard Petty is 88, Larry David is 78, Jerry Hall is 69, Jose Canseco is 61, Johnny Weir is 41, Ashley Tisdale is 40, Lindsay Lohan is 39. That's the way it's pronounced according to this. Around here we say Lohan. Margot Robbie is 35 today, and Ryan Murphy, the gold medalist, is 30.
That's a pretty
Gone
good
but not
list.
forgotten. Thurgood Marshall in 1908, Pierre Cardin in 1922, Medgar Evers in 1925, Dave Thomas in 1932, Paul Williams in 1939. He was in the Temptations. And then Willie Guest, who was in the Pips with Gladys Knight, was born this day in 1941. Chart toppers for this second day of Hulai. This is the Ink Spots and the Gypsy, number 1 in 46.
There's a lady they call the Gypsy.
How many laps do you think you could do, Sam, before you got dizzy?
Oh, no. See, I could do a lot. Because, I mean, as I was explaining to the person that I was talking to about this as to why I'm such a fan of them is, I grew up in a neighborhood, and at the top of my street was a roundabout. So every single day for my entire life almost, I moved into that house when I was like 5 or 6, we would drive through the roundabout. So for me, it was it's just part of life.
So you're a master of the roundabout.
I would classify that I am.
1955.
9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock, we're going to rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad
I do think if you can't prove that you can use it, you're not allowed to use the bypass.
I just
talk with talk with former Mayor Thomason, because his name's on it, so he gets to decide whether you get to drive on it or not.
I just feel like it is very easy.
I agree. It's easy.
But also know what you're doing.
Isn't that right, honey? He's the one that gets to decide who drives on the road? If you get your name on it?
I think so.
I thought, like, Mr. McGee gets to decide who drives on Schoolhouse Road.
I mean, I like the idea of that.
Huh. We're going to have a problem with the Wendell Forick Parkway then.
Oh, no, that could be a problem.
Yeah. Billy Preston was number one this date in 73. We'll go round in circles. Hey, Billy Preston, 2 days in a row on the chart toppers. Let's go to 1982. Conway Twitty was number one.
Goodness gracious.
Good old Harold Jenkins. Conway. Man, he had some hair. 1991. Jimmy Mattingly's Best Friend was number one with the Thunder Rolls. I wonder, I guess Jimmy will be in a couple of weeks. By the way, the current mayor is efforting getting me a new song that's written about, it's called Litchfield, that I'll feature for, on the show next week.
Is he singing?
It's going to be me in sync. The mayor? No, the mayor's not singing. Okay.
I mean, he could also sing this In Sync song. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Danny Roberts. I think.
Is he playing in it at least?
Cali Ocho 09. Is he what?
Is he playing in it at least?
The mayor? No, he can play along with it.
Uh-huh.
The mayor can barely play the radio.
You're about to get a text message here.
That's all right.
Won't be the first.
There's no show for the next 2 days, so I could basically get in trouble all I want to. I like it. Cardi B, Bad Bunny, number one this date in 2018.
He's going to come unplug your microphone.
Oh, no, he's not. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, nothing is more dangerous than a dangerous person who thinks they're a genius. Nothing is more dangerous than a dangerous person who thinks they're a genius. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield, the Twin Lakes Best Mix.